Hi everybody, it's December 19th, 2021, and a quick note here before I get started on Bitcoin analysis for the day. When I started doing these live or these nightly streams on Bitcoin, the goal was to help prevent everybody from getting wrecked, kind of give everybody an edge and keep you informed on what the market looks like, what the action is telling me as far as what Bitcoin is doing. I'm happy to continue doing that. But starting in 2022, I'm going to reduce the public streams down to just Monday and Friday, and I'm going to do that in fairness to the members of Trade Like a Whale. So they'll still be getting the daily updates that I do as always, but I feel that moving to Monday and Friday as the public videos will still allow me to keep everybody in the public informed and help you guys get from getting wrecked. But like I said, I want to be fair to members of Trade Like a Whale who have been with us for quite some time now. So that being said, I'm going to move on over to the Bitcoin chart here. So as you know, last night I was talking about this red zone being likely the top here for this to be an ABC up within what I was considering probably a B wave of C, right? So we're looking for this basically A, B, and C down. And so that seems to be playing out at the moment right now. We had this pump early morning, Sunday morning, which obviously got rejected really heavily, and then it continued downwards from there. We've had a lot of chop since then, right around the daily open. It started pumping and dumping. We're getting like $1,000 moves here. So the question is what's going to happen from here, and at this point in time it is not clear. I mean, we can still go here like so, and then continue sideways from there, right, or upwards, either one. We could break down from there, but with all of this action going on in here, the RSI being in the middle, PPO pretty much is in the middle as well. I don't actually know. Like I said before, this could certainly be the end of C, the end of this Y wave here. So that could have been it, and we may be seeing the next just choppy three-wave move up now from here. So there's multiple different possibilities here. So I'm going to go over a couple that sort of just make sense. Let me reduce this red box here. That ended up being resistance, so I'm going to leave that on. That worked out well. So we have this first possibility, which I think is the most likely, probably, to get a continuation of the move downwards. Still seems most likely to me. That would move into this area here. It is still within this original green box I had drawn on here for this C of Y. Right, so we can see a continuation downwards. If this C of Y is not completed here, it can continue downwards into this area. I still think if we break below this lower bound, about 43.5 or so, it's likely that we continue downwards from there. But if we maintain above that, then we can continue this chop. And as I've said multiple times now, I really don't want to see that. I don't want to see it continue chopping. This is no way to start off the next leg of the bull market. We really need to take out this low at this point. Since it's all just been choppy, unclear action, we must take out that low, in my opinion, in order to have a strong move up and start off the next leg of the bull market. So I would rather see that happen sooner rather than later. And if we hold in this box, it's going to continue chopping, and that will have to happen later, which I don't want to see. So that's the first possibility there. We've got kind of this new green zone here. It could spike down anywhere in there and then continue up. Or if we've already started the next leg up, let me just draw a resistance box for the new potential ABC forming here based on this action. So we may have a new resistance box anywhere in this region up here, like so. And that's going to be pretty much between 40, let's just round up, call it 48K and 49.8. somewhere in that region is the potential resistance for another 3-wave move. Now in doing so, if it did move up there, which again I'm not convinced of, but if it did, we would have to watch a little closer because it would also be breaking this downtrend line happening here. It would be breaking this downtrend line that happened here. Potentially, if it got to the top of that box, right, it would potentially break out. We could see a move up from there. I would, as I've said, I'm not really expecting just a straight move up, a big mega pump on this because this action is just crap. But this is basically 1 and 2 possibly, and then we'd have a 3, 4, and a 5 and a diagonal. I've laid that out a couple times. We really don't know where this is going to go until 3 ends, but 3 should be approximately the same size as 1, maybe slightly larger. So somewhere in the 58, 59K region would make sense if it does go up. So that's a possibility. And even if it does happen, maybe we get up back into the 60s, we're still going to have a deep drop back down, probably into the 50s or 40s as a second wave, because diagonals typically break down pretty heavily then. Even if they intend to continue bullishly, we typically see a large breakdown. So I'm not worried about having time to get back into the market. There's going to be plenty of time to do that based on this choppy action. So my preference still is to stay in cash until we get a new low, and then form a new impulse off the low, because I was saying back here, what we really want to see is an impulsive move. We didn't get that, and this is exactly what I did not want to see, because it's just low quality sideways action that is just unhelpful and really not useful to continue the bull market. So I made the decision, like I said, to pull out my funds. I sold more on this pump here, pulled my funds out of the market basically. 90% or so, and I'm waiting now for it to tell me what to do next, because if we do have the breakdown, which I would love to see, it can possibly go just mid 30s. It could even just spike down briefly below there and then go back up, or it could break down heavily into the 20s. I really don't know which of those is going to happen at the moment. I'm not going to pretend to say exactly where the bottom is going to be, but what I can say is that once we do see a lower low, if that happens, once we do see it, wherever it goes, as soon as we see this and then a pullback, that's the time to buy in, right? And if that happens from a 20K low, we can buy in, down here and then have a really nice run up. If it happens from the mid 30 region, we can, buy low 40s. Like basically, let the market prove itself before you really get aggressive on it is the plan here. So. All right, I think that's pretty much all I have for tonight. So these kind of 2 scenarios are the boxes that I'm looking at to see what happens from them, and we'll go from there with tomorrow's action. Let me update just quickly here the daily chart. I had mentioned yesterday when it was pumping, it had 24 hours basically to reject, which obviously it did, because at the time this RSI was looking like maybe it was going to break out, and I said, what, if this rejects before the daily close, that RSI is going to close back below, and that's no longer a breakout, and that is in fact what we saw. So does that mean we're definitely going bearish from here? Not necessarily. I mean, it can certainly just chop even further, but what I did say is that I'm really not interested even in jumping back into the market until this RSI does break out. Once it does, depending on what the action looks like here, I'll probably jump in, because an RSI breakout like this on the daily is a pretty decent signal most of the time. Like back here, it broke out right here. You can see on this green candle right here, it broke through that RSI. We had a strong reaction after kind of retesting these lows, and then the next day it went up a little further, stayed broken out, and then it just ran. And so we could see the same thing. If we see a strong candle up that breaks us out of that downtrend, break us out of this RSI downtrend, I would consider then putting the money back in and riding the next wave up with obviously with a reasonable stop loss in place as well. But that's kind of my plan. Those are the things I'm watching. All right, everybody, good night, and I will see you tomorrow.